It was so much fun doing the hose.
And we're live.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
You need
Johnny's probably running a little bit late, so he'll pop in when he pops in. I have some service people coming over, so I might be needing to pop out. Which I was telling Jen, I wasn't anticipating because it's a Sunday. I didn't know these people worked on Sundays. So if I get a knock on the door, I may have to hand the reins over to Jennie and Johnie and let them do their thing while I'm handling stuff downstairs. And oh, here's Johnie. Speaking of, hi, Johnie.
He gets close to start time.
I was just saying that I was letting the audience know that I have service people coming over for the construction that's going on downstairs. And I didn't know that they worked on Sundays. And Peanut texted me. He's like, hey, the Surf Pro people are going to be there between 5 and 6. I was like, ugh. So I might have to jump off very quickly.
Another live, Johnny and I'll carry on for.
Another public service announcement. Jennie and I were just backstage going through YouTube Studio.
Ranting.
Because it happened to me last time I went live. I was getting mid-roll live stream ads, which has never happened before. So we were in YouTube Studio looking, and there's no way to opt out. Like, it doesn't let you. It wouldn't let me opt out of mid-roll under my live stream, not my videos. Live streams, it's not letting me do it. So
just so everybody knows, all of us got notifications from YouTube on YouTube Studio that they were going to start doing that. Whenever they are changing things like adding super chats and adding super things, they start to roll it out with some test people. And apparently Becca's a test person because it's not happening to me yet and it's not happening to Johnny yet. So.
Or Autumn. I haven't seen it happen to Autumn's channel yet. And then when I was just in the YouTube Studio for this video on the live stream, it doesn't let me opt out of mid-roll ads, which I hate with a passion. So I can't take it off. I'll look again afterwards, but here's my apologies in advance. I have no control over that. I'm looking for this setting and I'm unable to locate it. So.
It's supposed to start for everyone in November. Just FYI, if you start seeing mid-rolls during live we of course will argue it because I told YouTube when they first offered me advertising I didn't want mid-rolls because it would interfere with my business and my channel. And now it's almost like it's not a choice.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there's one thing that annoys the living hell out of me is when I'm sitting there watching a video on YouTube Live and I'm in the middle of a video and the person's talking and then there's like 2 mid-roll non-skippable ads. Like by the time they're done, I forgot what I was watching. So I got to rewind, or half the time I just click out of the video because it's like, I don't want to be interrupted every few minutes with a mid-roll ad that's just placed in the middle of wherever,
I'll pull up music videos to play along with. And I've been in the middle of playing a song on my guitar and here comes a mid-roll ad that I can't skip. And it just screws it all up. It's like, ugh.
And for Enchanted Zinnial that was saying about complaining to YouTube, take it away, Jen. Take it away, please.
Okay, let me tell you another thing that's going on. If you guys have seen the Chinese company Temu advertising on YouTube and Instagram and all over the place, it's TEMU. They're Chinese. They promote stuff at like huge discounts. And underneath, Beth Cat let me know this. She sent me a text. Underneath my...
Let me see if I can make you bigger. Hold on.
My video that I did last week when she was watching it, rewatching it later, Temu had an ad for Ginlin Tarot, 90% off. No. If you want a reading with me, the only way I book is through my website, Ginlin Tarot, 2 N's in Gin, 2 N's in Lin, GinlinTarot.com. It says Ginlin Tarot on sale, Ginlin Tarot up to 90% off. I do not sell readings through Temu. I do not I mean, it's a copyright infringement basically now. So they will be getting a cease and desist letter at YouTube about this, because this is one of their advertisers stealing from me.
And we were just talking about that, Jennie and I, before Johnie joined, that it's like we as creators so much as fuck up this much, they demonetize us, they put a strike on us, and half the time it's incorrect. I have had to argue to have my videos remonetized, because I've had instances where I go live and before I'm even talking, they've already automatically demonetized my video. Then I have to send in for them to review it, and then they remonetize it. So us as creators are constantly getting the short end of the stick. But then they have companies like Temu that are scammers.
Stealing my name, falsely saying you can get something from them at a 90% discount. A, I don't give discounts. B, I don't sell through Temu. So I am wild.
It's ridiculous that YouTube is very quick to penalize creators, yet they allow advertisers like that are stealing from creators.
Falsely claiming things.
Yeah. So, I mean.
So be very careful. If you're trying to book an appointment with any of us, Becca's goes through her email, House of Lenormand Readings at gmail.com. Mine goes through my website, JenLynTarot.com. Johnny's not doing personal readings right now, or you are? No. When he does through email.
Yep. And that's right, Aspasia. Temu and a lot of these Chinese companies, it's all counterfeit stuff. It's all counterfeit. So, and then you're going to allow them to advertise on YouTube and plagiarize. Well, it's not even plagiarism. They're copywriting.
It's stealing property. It's stealing my personal.
Yeah.
So,
but, I mean, YouTube doesn't
my website address. I mean, it's easy, Ginlyn Tarot, just like I have it on my channel. But under all of my live streams, I post a link, and also the moderators are really good about posting links to, if you would like to book a reading with me, click on a link that I have put in there or a moderator has put in. That way, you're getting to the right place.
So do not go to that Temu website if it shows up as an advertisement to anybody that you watch, Jen or myself or Johnnie or any other readers or whatever that you watch, because Jennie was saying that she thinks they did it to Linda G's channel too.
Yeah, Beth thought they had done something similar with Linda G. So
do not click on it.
If you see Temu, or anybody trying to say that they're selling readings with me, no.
And if you
own my website.
It doesn't sound like it's a Ginlyn tarot reading. It sounds like they're selling Ginlyns. Like they just took the name and said, oh, this thing that you're looking at, like you can get paintings.com. You can get paintings.com at 90% off on Temu. So it just yanked the name and put it in their algorithm and said you can get this up to 90% off.
Yeah. So if you can, there's also ways to report ads. So if it's allowed, I would advise to try reporting them as well, because yes, we are aware that YouTube is owned by Google. You're talking about a super conglomerate, ginormous freaking corporation. They don't care so long as they're getting paid, So if Temu's paying them whatever it is that they're paying them to run advertisements, and they're making money off of the creator plus the advertiser, you think that they're going to care? So just be mindful. Do not schedule readings or anything through Temu, because that's
bogus.
That's bogus. Okay. So anyways, enough with that. Anything else, Jennie? How's it going?
I did a Sacred Sounds of Coffee last night with Gail from Spark Soul Therapy. That was a lot of fun getting back into that. We did it on a Saturday night to relaunch. We're going to be doing those again first Fridays of every month. So the first one in October, the first Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 Eastern, will be on Spark Soul Therapy. So if you're not a subscriber of hers, you may want to go over to subscribe so you can chat with us when we're live. and we'll alternate months. For those that remember, Jody Roberts has been out. She is having to learn to walk again and everything, and going through physical therapy. So we miss Jody, send her much healing love, but I got a substitute while she's out until she's able to at least wheel over to her gongs and play them.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? If you want a reading with Jen Lynn, go to her website, JenLynnTarot.com. Not Temu, JenLynnTarot.com. What about you, Mr. Johnie? Anything going on with you? No? You just chilling?
It's rainy and cold, and I love it.
Oh, it's raining up there? Bastard. That one day, and it was like a little bit of a sprinkle, but I was so happy. I was outside. That's when I rescued that. A couple days later, I rescued that little lizard. You see how little he was? He was like a hatchling, like a new hatchling or something. He was tiny.
He was a cat snack.
He was like this big, and Johnny texts, he's like, "How the hell did you see him?" I was like,
"How did you see that?"
Because he was like, I could have sworn he was just newly hatched because he was so itty bitty, but.
Thank you guys for joining us last week. I know we were off the walls with the hoedown, but it was so much fun. The comments were hysterical.
Yeah. So I used to call her Bimbo Bobert. I think I'm going to call her Hoopty Hobert now. She's like she's like a hoopty. Johnny keeps falling off.
The camera. I kicked it out.
I'm going to get you a new camera, Johnny.
I need a new life.
But is it the camera or is it you? I thought you said it was the connector in the computer.
I just plug it in and see what happens.
Ay.
It never has that with the microphone, so it might just be the camera. I don't know. Send the rain to Cal. No, I'm keeping it. Thank you.
Damn you, Johnny. Damn you. I want some rain.
All of it. It's like 10 degrees outside and it's raining and I love it.
So it's cold now up there? Or
yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It is. I want a coat, but not buying a coat because I have 5. So, but I want another one because now's the season. And it's not going to be hot for another 9 months, and I love it. So,
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. I've been listening to rain on my headphones and reading my books, and it's like it may not be raining outside, but inside my head, it's raining right now.
Mind you, it's like 2 drops. It's a sprinkle, but I'm calling it rain because it's cold and raining. So
yeah, we're back
in the sun all day, so I'm like super happy.
I'm ready for the sun to go away over here. It's like, damn you bastard.
We're back to Arizona where you belong. Thank you.
Yeah.
Intrepid viewers commenting on the satire song I posted about Bobert. For those that haven't seen it on my community tab, I share every now and then funny little things I find on YouTube.
I like the one that Johnny sent about Donald Trump. That one had me cackling.
I think Edie sent that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There's hi Jody.
Hi Jody.
Hey Jody.
My comments work today. Okay. You want cool weather? Oh, I'm sorry, Terry. You are in Arizona. Y'all got hammered that 120 every day.
Oh God. That's not even no. No, you basically have to be a wizard to live in.
I mean, you live in hell basically at that point. It's like you don't turn the heat down at all. We just trash cans were melting, buildings were melting, people were melting, everything melting. Like this ain't Venus, sir. Stop it.
No.
It's cool.
So that's all the chit chatting we got, huh? Nothing else? Y'all ready to roll?
You go ahead. You know I can talk for 11 hours straight. So
I know. Let's do it, Johnny.
I'm only mildly sleepy.
We haven't even gotten on the subject of food yet.
I had to make coffee before we went live because I was sitting there. I told y'all I stayed up until stupid o'clock reading this book that I bought it last year.
She read a book twice last week. Twice.
It was Friday. Because I'm like, in my head, happy fall, everybody, even though it doesn't feel like fall here, but happy fall, my favorite time of year. So last year, there was this book that came out, and Amazon always runs sales for ebooks. So you can find books for like $1, $2, $3. And usually I go in and I get like, I'll buy books that interest me, but it takes me a while to get to them. And because it's spooky season, I was like, oh, I should read this book. I stayed up until stupid o'clock. Okay. Like, I don't think I went to bed until 6 o'clock in the morning to finish the book. Went to sleep, woke up 3 hours later at 9 o'clock, got ready, brushed my teeth and everything, waited till 10 o'clock, went down the hill to Barnes and Noble's, bought the damn book and reread it again, like back to back. It was that good. Like, so yeah, that's my life. So I'm like, what? Who does that?
Becca
like,
does.
That's the first time I've ever read a book back to back.
I'm gonna dress up as Becca for Halloween. I'm just gonna have books all in my face.
Yeah.
Stacks and stacks.
Face.
And plants, lots of plants.
Yeah, plants and books. Mm-hmm.
And little devil ears sticking up from behind the books.
I know. That's why I loved it so much, because she has, okay, first thing, this book, okay, is in this town called Blunder. But the kingdom of Blunder is surrounded by this mist that is full of magic that if it touches you, you'll get infected with magic. Meaning you're either going to get magic, which will eventually kill you, or you're just going to go absolutely crazy and it's going to kill you. Or the king of Blunder is going to come looking for you, the king and his physicians, and then they find out you have magic and they throw you in the dungeons and you're dead. What's so interesting about this book, it's cards, Jennie. When I was like, I was eating that shit up because it's cards like this, you know? So I was reading it, and this girl, when she was little, she got infected by the mist and nothing happened. She didn't think she had any magic, and she accidentally touched one of the Providence cards in the story, and somehow she ended up with this demonic thing living in her head. So I'm over here like rubbing cards. I'm like, I want a demon in my head. How do I get one? It was such a good book. It's such a good book. So yeah, magic cards. That's what I really liked about it. So yeah, that's all. I'm gonna shut up now. So anyways, moving on.
We had our first corrupt Democrat this week.
Well, he's been indicted before.
Yeah.
This is his second indictment, I think. Menendez of New Jersey. Him and his wife. I think the first indictment he
got
ever
acquitted.
Yeah, he got acquitted, but he's been indicted before. But now it's him and his wife for bribery. So, but we'll get to that eventually. I guess the biggest question is the looming government shutdown, because Kevin McCarthy can't rein in the crazies.
He can't rein in Bobert and Hobart and the fishy itchy kitty and the pedophile.
Yeah, the crazies have taken over the asylum. So, and I mean, he's kind of backed himself up into a corner, because he even so much as makes a wrong move, he's going to lose his speakership.
Even senators are telling him this: if you shut down the government, it's not good for us in elections, you know.
But again, like I said, he's painting himself into a corner. He can easily go to the Dems and get the votes. If he does that, he's going to have the looming threat that they're going to take away his speakership because of the deal he made to get speakership after being denied 15 times. The name of the book, Terry, One Dark Window, by Rachel Gillig. So he's kind of painted himself into a corner there. So
the Dems aren't going to vote for the bill they've got on the table right now. It's jacked up.
Yeah, and
it'll never pass the Senate, the one they've got on the table right now.
Marjorie Trader Gang Green is trying to get to defund Ukraine. Yes, Trillium. It comes out on my birthday. That's my birthday, and I'll be going down the hill back to Barnes and Noble to get book 2 for my birthday. I'm like, oh, it's
be camping out on the sidewalk the night before, guys.
I know. I'm gonna camp out in my car. Johnny's been to my house. You've seen how close Barnes and Nobles is. It's like right there. So, but anyways, so can we ask, will there be a government shutdown this month? Because they have until the 30th, correct?
Right, but it's 24th right now, so they got 6 days. They got this week to get their act together.
And side note,
hey, Lori.
let them all go home to take a 1-week vacation.
Hey, Lori.
Oh, and my birthday's the same as your dad's. You know who else has the same birthday, William? Lynn Tarot Readings here on YouTube is also October 17th.
Auntie Lynn.
Auntie Lynn. She's also on October 17th, baby. So will there be a government shutdown this month? Do I donate my books to the library? The ones that I know I'm not going to ever reread again, yes. And then to the free little libraries around the neighborhood as well.
Becca's got all kinds of collectible books. She could do a whole video for you with like hand-painted edging and stuff, like just crazy details in her books. She texts us photos.
Make a tarot book, that's what it has to look like.
Like the new one that I just got in the mail that I was showing you guys with like the laser printed edges and stuff. Look at that.
It has to look like something like that.
I mean, it's just the book itself is a work of art, you know.
Who wants a regular book anymore?
Make it pretty. Make it pretty. So will there be a government shutdown this month? It's not going to be good, you guys. What'd you get, Johnny?
If I were doing yes, no, it would say yes, but I'm going to say the cards that I get, though, say there's a deal to be made. The Two of Cups, the Justice, and the Sun. So there's a successful agreement is literally what that would mean. The Two of Cups is agreement. Sun is success. Justice is fair. So here's hoping.
I think there'll be one, but they'll come back with a deal pretty quickly because I'm getting Biden's got the strength right now. You know, what he's done for our economy and everything and jobs reports and everything. Republicans are going to try to stab him in the back. I get they'll have to return to get a budget approved because right now it's a no. They're stuck. They don't have votes.
Sorry, Peanut just texted me that the guy was here. I'm getting a yes. Can you guys handle this for me while I go downstairs?
Yeah. I get like it. There is a shutdown. There's a constriction, and because they don't have the votes, but they'll move forward. There'll be an agreement eventually. For practical purposes, they have to come to agreement. So it's like a no and a yes. I mean, they eventually have to get a budget approved, right? So, Johnny, if like you're getting a yes, but it could be a yes, it could be a yes that's 3 weeks out. Can we ask?
If I read the cards themselves, it says successful agreement is made. No, that's in 6 days. If I was just reading yes, no, with no interpretation on the cards, I got the Sun, which is a yes. So there's that. But I'll be optimistic and say it's a deal will be made.
Let's see if we can get a timeline, like how many days till there's a deal. Until there's a successful deal that will pass the Senate too, because whatever they pass in the House has to also clear the Senate. How many days? Thank you, Margaret. Magician keeps showing up, all kinds of manipulations and
Mm-hmm.
If they could gerrymander budgets, they would.
Playing chicken with everybody else. If they made $7.25 an hour, they wouldn't do this, I bet you.
They may be offering something up to end McCarthy this week too, because they can't get a deal.
Sorry, I had to run downstairs.
We're trying a little timeline on when will a deal clear the House and Senate, because whatever the House does, the Senate has to approve. We're trying to get a number of days, because like Johnie could be getting a yes because yes they will, but is there a shutdown in between?
So what's the question?
Like how many days until they have an approved budget through the House and Senate? I'm kind of getting a 8-day kind of thing that they get to higher ground, strength on a working together. Before that, it's all just no. So I'm kind of getting a 8-day thing.
Oh, and thank you to Cold Toes for last week for the PayPal. I got the 8 of Wands too. So I'm going to say 8 days.
I got 16.
But I only asked about the House.
Yeah, the way I worded it was how many days until they get the budget approved in the House and the Senate, and it said 16. So pulling on that thread, unless you have another question, Jennie. Thank you for covering for me while I might have to run down again because they're taking all the stuff down the scaffolding and everything.
You're welcome. And Margaret Perry gave you a super chat while you were gone.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So pulling on that thread. I know that the Republicans in the Senate are screaming right now, but the House is a totally different monster. Is McCarthy aware that shutting down the government is going to hurt Republicans in the elections that are coming up?
No, Karin, these are called the Gold Thread Tarot. I actually should have bought some Halloween cards. I got some, I think.
You still have time.
I got some. I did just buy a new deck 2 days ago, though. Because why not?
Johnny was laughing at me when I was out in Portland because, I have my Radiant Wise Spirit deck that I love because it has kind of old world coloring but traditional Rider Waite deck. I bought the miniature version of it that I could use for traveling. I was like, look, it's the same exact deck.
Last time they shut down the government, you guys, under Donald Trump, which was the longest in history, it was 35 days. How much did that cost the U.S. economy? It was like was it in the billions or did it go up to the trillions? It was in the billions, right? That it hurt the economy?
I think it was billions.
They should pass.
He ultimately cost us trillions in debt, but
yeah, they should not that I'm optimistic about it because they're not ever going to do anything that hurts their own pocketbook. But if the Dems ever get back in control of the House and the Senate, like with a really large majority. Thank you, Queenie the Genie. They should pass a bill and make it a law that lawmakers that choose to shut down the government, everybody loses their pay. That would be a deterrent. I mean, not that they would really care. They still have their portfolios and their multi-millionaire friends, but don't.
It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't get paid at all. She gets paid $1, I think, or no, it's one of those other one gets paid $1. She didn't get paid at all because she got fined over and over and over again for not wearing a mask and all these other type of things, and she didn't care.
But she was worth a few million before she went into office.
She's worth $50 million, so she didn't care.
Yeah, so it's not like she cared, you know. But it's just like, it's very easy for you to fuck with people when it's not your pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
he's aware that they'll lose support, but he thinks, you know, by staying strong, they can move forward because they've got protections in place for their votes. So I think he thinks, you know, the gerrymandering and stuff will help. Thank you, Claudia. And somebody else super chatted.
She got it.
Okay.
what did you get, John?
Yes, he's very aware, but when you make a deal with the devil, you don't decide the terms. And so
Hey, I'm nice.
Satan. There is it's that thing of I would like power, and then the devil grants you a battery. It's one of those. It's like you don't really get to decide what they do afterwards. There's the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Swords. Hands are tied, and there's the devil. Talk about his kids. There he is. But the future is very bleak because there's the Ten of Swords. It's dark and getting darker. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for the Ten of Swords because once it all falls down, at least you can start over. You start over with nothing, but at least you can start over. But he has to lose a lot first, and the rest of them do too, because it's what is the story? Which one is it? It's not the tortoise and the hare. It's the squirrel and the other thing, to where one prepares for the winter. The entire time during the spring and the summer, one prepares for the winter. The other animal just frolics and plays, and then during the winter time, they have nothing. So right now, they're getting all they can get, and then when it's time for elections, they're going to scramble around because messed themselves up.
My answer, I think, segues into my next question, but I get the clover, the mice, and the dog. Yes, they're going to lose opportunity. It's a very bad risk to take, but they're doing it in support, to show support and loyalty, to show loyalty.
Is somebody who's not loyal to them?
Here's the thing. Last week, while we were on your channel, Jennie, we read on Ken Paxton. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
On why he was acquitted? Turns out it was reported on Midas Touch and a few other independent media outlets that Donald Trump had an entire campaign with the senators in Texas to acquit Paxton, or he was going to oust him out of office.
Just like they did with the illegal fake electors. He had a whole campaign going to try to save Paxton.
This is another thing. The whole government shutdown, it is being reported that is one of Donald Trump's campaigns. So not only is it because Kevin McCarthy made a deal with the morons that are a minority, and basically they have them by the balls to where if you do anything, we're going to oust you as speaker, but it's also a political campaign via Donald Trump, because Donald Trump wants them to shut down the government so that it hurts Biden, so that it ups his chances in the election. Make that make sense, because the son of a bitch lost every single time he was ever on minus 2016. Every time after that, he's lost everything. So he's got this campaign of influence from outside of government, forcing or pushing them to do all these things that hurts Americans ultimately, you know. And Kevin McCarthy is willing to go for it because he's just he just wants to be speaker. You know, the guy has no spine to speak of. He's like a fucking jellyfish, no spine and no brains, you know. But so my question is, I don't even know where to start with that, because we're well aware that Trump has been using an influence.
Sabotaging our government.
Sabotaging our government, even though he is a loser. Okay, he cannot win an election anyway unless he lies, cheats, or steals. So now he's using the mechanisms of Congress to hurt Biden.
And he's a horrible businessman.
I mean, who bankrupts a fucking casino? I mean, make that.
He wants to bankrupt the country, you know.
So my question is, will Trump's influence campaign in the Congress work?
They think it'll stop Jack Smith. No, you're already indicted, fool. That won't go away.
I just can't, like, Johnny, I'm over here scratching my head. It's like, what are you going to gain? This guy, everything he touches turns to shit. Like, everybody's indicted. Everybody's going to jail.
In my mind, anyway, you can't hurt Biden with the shutdown because you're in charge of the House. It's like you did when Trump was president, and when you had the House and the Senate, you still tried to blame Democrats for everything you couldn't do. It's like, you're the ones driving this car. Why am I responsible for the directions now?
And another reason why he wants the government shut down too is because he wants them to defund the DOJ and Jack Smith to ease off his. So there's a lot of reasons behind his influence campaign, even though he's nowhere near the levers of power, and these morons that have lost everything to him are still willing to go along. Like, you can't make this, the math doesn't math. You know what I mean? 2 + 2, you can't make it equal 74 or 71,
I think they'll continue to try to protect him through Congress, because he's being burdened in the courts and bullied, and they're trying to block all the indictments and trials and everything. They want everything to come to an end. So they're going to keep coming up with new ways to try to regain power over DOJ and stuff. There's money influence also with donors coming in, major money. So there's Russia and the Republicans. So yeah, they'll continue that campaign all the way through.
What did you get, Johnny? But the question was, will he be successful? Will that's what I was asking, of him using the Congress to do his bidding to hurt Biden?
Yeah, let me ask.
Will it be successful?
I want follow-up question. Will they stop the Jack Smith investigation?
Okay. What did you
So as far as will he be successful, he will be successful in his persuasion. His ultimate goal is a whole completely different thing. But I do get the talking 8 of Wands, and I do get the Hierophant. So he does have speech with the government. And so there's also the Page of Wands, which is messages, in the Chariot. So he does have some sort of persuasion to where he can get these people on his side. The Tower and the 2 of Cups, those he has a deal with, that does meet a very fiery end, because they don't have enough power to do what he wants them to do. But he has enough persuasion to persuade them to at least try. And that part, I don't understand.
So I asked if his influence campaign in the House will benefit him. I get, fuck no. You're going to cut the head off the snake. You're still in a shit ton of legal trouble. You are a target in the law. Yeah. In more than one place. So here's the lie, the lie, the betrayal, the trouble gets cut off here, and the danger is with the law. So no, you still in danger, boy. You still in danger for being a fucking liar.
I think he will be successful at continuing to get them to try to stop things. I want to ask the question, will he be successful at getting them to stop Jack Smith? I want to ask it that way. Because he's always going to have somebody sticking up for him in Congress.
They have this, don't kill the termites that are eating your house. Feed them something, that way they don't eat the house. Okay, but get rid of them altogether is what you need to do. You have you're this close to getting rid of Donald Trump, and you won't do it.
You don't need him next to your house.
You deserve him. You deserve him at this point. He's not your burden. He's what you choose now.
He was going on a freaking rant the other day after Howard Stern said something about him or whatever and was making fun of Lauren Bobert and all that stuff on his show. And he went on like a 2 a.m. fake Twitter rant on his Truth Social that's about to go ass up. But it's like, I'm telling you.
I mean, to me, like, what he's trying to do in the House to defund Jack Smith, if I was Judge Chutkan, I'd be saying, okay, you're witness tampering and you're messing with the courts and you're.
I have a follow-up to that. Because Andrew Wiseman I haven't been watching the news. I've just been catching little snippets here and there on YouTube. And Andrew Wiseman made a very, very, very interesting observation on the latest interview that Donald Trump did. And it was all around the stop the count, keep the count, all that stuff. So he just admitted to another crime. It's like, give him the camera, let him talk. He's going to out himself. The truth will out with that moron a million times. So what'd you guys get?
I get they'll keep trying to defend him. He's like hanging on, but eventually he's going to get burdened even by the donors and stuff. So I think ultimately they'll block anything as far as trying to get rid of Jack Smith. They're fighting it. They're fighting it, but I think, and they're going to regret it too, because they may get served up something themselves. But I don't think they'll be able to stop Jack. It's too far gone. That boat sailed.
What'd you get, Johnny?
In fact, someone in his orbit, Donald Trump's orbit, is going to talk. This person may have been arrested or will be. With the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Cups has something to do with something in excess. I don't have the Page of Pentacles, so I can't necessarily say the document, but there's some sort of greed or something in excess, payouts and monies and things. I mean, that's pretty much his whole life. So somebody here, though, is about to give up something here with the Knight of Pentacles. This person is about to do some talking. Verbal and written, mind you, has something to do with money, finances, gifts, maybe RICO, something of that nature. And so, is he going to stop Jack Smith? No. Things are going to get worse, actually.
Is it going to stop Jack Smith? No. There is something here that cuts him off from it. Also, there's a cutoff here, but it has been transitioned to this person here who is trustworthy. Which was one of my questions, and I keep seeing it in the chat. Somebody is going to have to educate me or enlighten me because I'm not aware. But according to this, no, it's been cut off, transferred to this person here, someone that's trustworthy. Jack Smith has added a war crimes prosecutor to his team. So, and I keep seeing in the chat that Jack Smith has added a new prosecutor. What's that about? Before I get to the question, because I didn't, tonight was the first time I've heard of it. Does anybody know?
We don't know, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I don't think we know exactly why he is a war crimes person. I mean, if he was selling off top secret documents and stuff, is he going to charge him with treason?
He started
a riot. He started a war on a Capitol steps for entertainment purposes. Only YouTube, allegedly.
He stole classified documents.
And may have sold off information and stuff. Jared Kushner, with his $2 billion he got from the Saudis, and probably gave hit lists to them and stuff.
So
there could be war crimes.
Can we ask why? not why. I'm wanting to know the purpose of why Jack Smith brought on the new war crimes.
War crimes. Let's start there, because I think this is going to deeper dive.
What's the purpose?
I mean, he brings up, political leaders all over the world at The Hague before, so he knows how to do this. Why a war crimes prosecutor? And the whole live golf thing, signing contracts with Trump and stuff. The Saudis are up to their neck, and Russia both. Why a war crimes prosecutor? I mean, to me, that spells treason. That means somebody's done something against the U.S.
He has.
Yeah, somebody on Trump's team, or Trump has himself directly. Well, and also, if you saw all the Secret Service leaks about their text messages with the oath creepers.
We deleted the text messages?
Yeah, that claimed they didn't see the oath creepers as white nationalists. Hello, we all know they are. So how could the Secret Service not know they are? Who were they taking orders from? Everybody else knew it but Secret Service?
I continue to be amazed at all the shit that son of a bitch corrupted. I mean, it's just like, I know that our government institutions are not perfect. I know that there are people, and us people, we have our fault. But to be a Secret Service agent, to be a senator, a congressperson, and be totally fucking on board with the shit this son of a bitch did, it's like, that's what blows my mind. You know what I mean? Like,
they all should be brought up on treason. I'm getting treason all over the place. Jack's feeling quite burdened, but American here in treason and illumination on that. Regretful actions that thankfully Trump was unable to finish, trying to overthrow our government. And people died because of this. And I get like Republicans and Trump himself, are going to get charged on treason is what I'm getting. The bully, Jack Smith, he's going to come in and take this all the way through the courts. Mm-hmm. Bad news. There's a spy in the camp too. There's somebody that's giving information to Jack Smith about it. What was it? What was the Secret Service guy's name that Cassidy Hutchinson testified about? I forget his name. I don't even
remember.
But he was crooked as all get out.
Oh, the one that was like the one that she said, the one that said that her claim about Trump trying to take the wheel to go back to the Capitol was wrong. It was that guy, but yeah. I don't remember the name.
I forget his name. Y'all help us in the chat. No.
Walter Nalta is the classified documents guy.
Yeah, he's the valet.
Okay, go ahead, Johnny.
There's a woman here, first card. She is burdened or was burdened. She's involved in this some way, somehow, but she has a lot on her shoulder. However she plays it. Ornato. The Three of Pentacles and the Six of Swords are some sort of overseas connection. The Three of Pentacles indicates a deal was struck. This is off the record, out of the public type of thing. The Nine of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, there is a lot of stress and worry about the trail of this money because it's like secret society type thing. It's very big. It's very connected. it's one of those. This is not where we had a meeting at the G20 type thing. This is, we had a meeting face to face or on a burner phone or something like that. But it's about the relationships that he had with other people. And I don't get violence, but something in me says that there could have been, like when he killed the Soleimani man person. So it's something like that, to where he may have some sort of favor that was done and all that type of stuff. But I don't get that here. Just to be clear about it, though.
I forgot about that guy.
Ornato?
No, say it again, Johnny.
Soleimani, I think was his name. That was the Trump hired, not hired. He ordered a hit on that guy, basically.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Iranian guy, that like general or whatever he was.
Interesting.
Y'all, there's so many names to keep up with.
I'm going to do this real quick, and I got to run downstairs because I hear him calling. I get that it's around campaign finance. There's the administration, the property. There's the campaign established and achieving finance here. This right here, the money's not clean, making it look clean, but it ain't clean. I'm getting finance, something around a campaign finance of some sort. Campaign.
Well, I mean, that's a crime to take foreign money or anything.
Mm-hmm. I have nothing here that says foreign unless I look at this. But again, I'm going to err on the side of caution because it's iffy, because I only pulled a line of 5. But this is looking like something in the campaign that's sus. I got to run downstairs. Do you need questions, or can you guys pull up from that thread?
We can go from here. We'll probably deeper dive on this.
Okay.
So, is it just Trump that Jack Smith is going after for war crimes with this war crime prosecutor, or is it a whole group?
Because it's like Mueller when he hired the people who specifically could speak Russian and read Russian and write Russian.
Why do you have to know Russia?
Like, why do you need this?
Nothing to look at here.
Collusion.
Yeah, is there a whole collusion conspiracy that Jack is bringing a bunch up on, or is it just Trump?
Well, Jack Smith's been busy. I can say that for sure.
He's damn good at his job, too.
Merrick Garland picked the right person, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to take somebody like Trump down, yeah, get somebody that's
Merrick Garland, why aren't you doing your job? There you go.
Somebody that's prosecuted through the Hague. Thank you very much, Merrick Garland. Why didn't you do it a year earlier?
I mean... I get this Queen of Wands still. I don't know who she is, but she's involved some way, somehow. Financially speaking, she's tied to money here. So whoever she is tied directly to money. I don't know if she got money or if she paid money or what. But that it burdened her, whatever it is. That in particular thing, because she got the 2 of Pentacles this time, so it causes a juggle on her. This other person, it makes no difference because they can't do anything to him, so he must be in one of them countries to where you just can't get him. Got 7 of Wands and the King of Wands, and so this is somebody's leader somewhere. He's definitely involved, but again, you have to find a way to get him out of where he is. But yeah, there are other people, definitely other people.
I get that too, that there's evidence of agreements that were made. It's like the whole government under Trump was corrupt. And I think also behind January 6th. So he's going after a whole bunch of them. There is money involved. There's payouts and money laundering and quid pro quo. I give you this if you do that. I get a Queen of Wands too that's tied up in it and has been for a long time. So that'll be interesting to see who that woman is. They are going to regret this. He's going after a whole bunch of them. I still want him to go after Ginni Thomas. It's like if we can't control our Supreme Court justice, can we at least prosecute his wife, who allegedly was involved up to her eyeballs with January 6th? Is she on his radar?
Ooh.
Is she on Jack Smith's radar?
I mean, she's got to come up in something. But do you have
all those text messages to Mark Meadows? He's got to be looking. Is there going to be anything from Jack Smith and for Ginni?
Sorry about that.
We're asking, is Ginni Thomas on Jack Smith's radar now with all those text messages to Mark Meadows and being up to her eyeballs in all this? Is she on his radar? Is there going to be anything from Jack Smith for Ginni Thomas? It just came out about now the Koch brothers and all the money they've given the Thomases this week. Every week it's another billionaire, another group that have given them millions.
I think for most people, it's not the fact of the corruption, it's the fact that the corruption never gets punished.
I think he was surprised by her involvement at first. Yeah, okay. I think he was surprised at first at the details that came out about her involvement with the network and how steadily she is there. It made him like quite anxious to see her involvement, knowing that her husband's on the Supreme Court. But the strength of questioning has brought out a lot of things, a lot of illumination and justice. I think, yes, that sun card's a big yes for me. He's gonna go after her.
What'd you get, Johnny?
Is he on the radar or is she on the radar? Sure. I mean, I don't see consequence out of this, but I do get a confirmation of yes with the sun. So maybe it's just one of those things to where the woman and manipulation and all the people that she's with 10 of Cups and Magician. And the 8 of Pentacles, the work and the details, she's in there. Her name is in there. When you can't talk about Jan 6 without talking about her. And I don't really think he's like doing his deep dive into Thomas because that ain't really his business. That's, DOJ can send somebody else out with that. But she definitely came up in his documents and papers and research and phone calls and all that. But that's what I get.
That's exactly what I got. There's a lot of uncertainty here on how he's going to proceed forward because the evidence is there that links her to the messages, the mail. So the emails, the written communication, she's linked here. She was part of, she was in agreement with, and it's on paperwork. But it's almost like there's some sort of uncertainty or hesitancy, but he's got her. Now, is he going to do something about it? That's a different question. So
that would just be awesome. Supreme Court justice's wife.
And then every week we get new stuff about Clarence Thomas. Yep. There's just another bombshell reporting about Clarence Thomas and
the Koch brothers.
It's just like at this point we're just numb, because apparently if you want to be committing crimes, just go get a seat at the Supreme Court. They're not going to touch you. You know, so we've already asked about Jack Smith. Okay, here's another question. With all the heat on Clarence Thomas, it was on the community page. I personally think no, but I'll see what the cards say. Will Clarence Thomas still be in the Supreme Court while Biden is president?
Like after the election, you mean? Or the whole term of Biden, is that what you mean?
She's muted. She can't hear you.
I'm going to ask it that way.
I get a yes. I get that there's news that he's still going to very important social events, that he's still part of, or he has access to these different groups that are in society. I get that he's still there. He's still there for Clarence Thomas. Unless you impeach the son of a bitch or he drops dead at work, that mofo ain't going nowhere. What did you get, Johnny?
He's still there unless he chooses not to be. With the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Swords, that is the only way that I see him not being there, is if he chooses to relinquish his duty. Other than that, he's still there.
He's still there, but there's going to be some changes put on the Supreme Court. So whether that's ethics under, I get, temperance under Biden. I get yes cards, but something is going to be looked at differently with the whole court. And there's going to be support to constrict them. So whether that's an ethics rule or something, they'll try to block it. I get the Supreme Court will try to block it, but I think there'll be some laws about the ethics rules coming down on them. But that's like probably after the election, after we can get the House back.
Speaking of elections, there's this very, very, very interesting thing that's been happening since the last elections, where the polls have been purposefully manipulated. Washington Post and another outlet posted a poll that had Donald Trump beating Biden by 20 points. Even though we know that that's fucking bullshit, but anyway. And I understand maybe they're just only calling people on landlines, perhaps, just to give the benefit of the doubt. But last time when we found out about it, when we were awaiting the red wave and it was only like a trickle, we found out last time that it really was a campaign to scully the polls so it'll drum up the Republicans to get out to vote. It didn't work, but now we get this poll that has Trump over by 20. So my question is, thank you, Carol. Yes, it was the Washington Post and ABC. Okay. So I want to know, are the polls being purposefully manipulated?
Like Rupert Murdoch saying, oh, the media is crooked, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, because of you, dude, because you're the one that manipulated most of it.
Have you looked in the mirror, motherfucker? I mean,
criticizing mainstream media as being
have you looked in the mirror, motherfucker? And I'm sorry, he is a motherfucker. Like, I don't mean to. Actually, yes, I do. He's a motherfucker. Okay? That man has done more harm to this country than McConnell and Trump combined.
Every country he's touched, he's involved with in the UK and Australia and everywhere.
He's from Australia.
So are the polls being purposefully manipulated? Mm-mm-mm.
Abundantly. They're contacting Trump supporters is what I get. Ring, ring. Let me talk to the man of the house. Yeah, so they're talking to more men than women. They're seeking out people that are, follow Trump, the celebrity Trump. They're looking at his supporters, and they're also changing and lying about what's on the polls. So, yes, I don't get the magician, which is my ultimate. Yeah, there may be some overseas meddling in them also.
Mm-hmm.
But they're talking to Republicans. That's who they're talking to. They're not talking to Democrats. Democrats don't. A lot of us don't have landlines.
Yeah. What did
because
you get?
We're woke. We didn't realize we don't need a landline.
What did you get, Johnny?
I'll set this one out. I have bias against polls.
I get, is it being manipulated? Yes. They're calling homes that may not have phones, or not calling homes that don't have phones. This would be a phone. Calling families for properties that don't have phones. It's being done to give this man an opportunity to grow his chances of winning. Not saying that he is behind it. It's just saying that the man his luck is growing. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but the polls are not.
To make it look like it's growing.
I don't get that they're being manipulated. Just skewed, if that makes sense. So it's not like some guys sitting there like, oh, let's call 8,000 Trump supporters and 2 Democrats. No, it's
the majority of Americans want to see him prosecuted. We're happy to see him indicted, and I think they even skew that polls on that percentage because it's much lower than what I think it really is in reality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, Senator
voter suppression is poll suppression.
Senator Menendez has been indicted again, him and his wife, for charges of bribery in New Jersey. And I'm not like a Trump supporter. I'm not a cult member. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat or independent or who the hell you are. If you committed a crime, you deserve to be indicted and put on trial and convicted if necessary. If the jury finds you guilty, I don't make, because he's a Democrat. No.
If you're taking gold bars from foreign countries, you deserve to be indicted.
Yep. Same thing with the whole
gold bars. Who the hell takes a gold bar anymore? Come on.
And here's the thing: the whole Hunter Biden stuff. If Hunter Biden committed a fucking crime, let him pay the price like everybody else. I don't give a shit. There shouldn't be nepotism. If it applies to a man buying a carton of cigarettes on the street corner and then getting accused of losing his life because somebody accused him of using counterfeit money, you can't tell me that some white dude that's the son of a president gets to get away with it because he's the son's president. You know what I mean? No, like the same across the board. So what I want to know is, I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter that he needs to step down, and then people say no, that he does. My view is step the fuck down. We don't want to, that's my view. Kevin McCarthy's totally fine with having, and here's another thing that's rich. Now you have Republicans screaming for Menendez to step out of office, and I'm sitting there looking at George Santos going, this motherfucker got convicted. He just got convicted.
I would normally say you need to step away. But now it's like, you know what? Just wait till we see what how the trial works out. After George Santos,
because if Santos will go, then take everybody else too. Santos stole gold bars, silver bars, fruit stripe gum, Snickers, candy. He's got everything.
Killed his mom 3 times,
money laundering, everything.
And he just got convicted. George Santos pleaded guilty, and he's still sitting in the freaking House of Representatives, voting, and then Kevin McCarthy is coddling him because he needs that extra vote. He's only got a 10-seat majority. But then they're screaming for Menendez to step down. It's like, are we living in the same fucking universe here?
I'm like, you know what? Then our guy gets to stay for a while. I've changed my mind about that.
Yep. So
will he step down?
Yeah, will Menendez step down?
I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, Mitch McConnell has done crimes against humanity, by being cruel and inhumane to people.
By being alive.
By being alive.
That is one son of a bitch right there that I am so pissed off that I am not Satan, because I would love nothing more than to welcome that motherfucker into the fiery gates of hell.
That's one little time I would love to be a fly on a wall and on the pearly gates of heaven when he comes up, just to hear what is said to him.
I just want to be Satan welcoming him into fucking the fiery pits of hell, because that's
visualize a trap door in heaven just going boom and him dropping down.
Yep. I can't with Mitch McConnell.
You know I can't. I hate his whole guts.
And then this whole, we're Democrats, we should be better than that. These people were dancing on Ruth Bader Ginsburg's grave before her body was fucking cold. Don't talk to me about, we should be better. No.
It puts those sex offender on us on our Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am not.
I mean, listen,
here's
the thing. You could be better than that. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, I'm going to be petty and keep that person here.
Like I said, Johnny, I'm not Mother Teresa. I'm not Mother Teresa.
Never have been. I ain't even been her for Halloween. So there's that.
Mm-mm. I get that he stays throughout the legal trouble. Here's the sting. You're anchored. There's the trouble. Persistent lying, persistent trouble, and then with the law. So I get that he stays. Which, ideal? No. But as a fuck you to the Republicans, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he stays too. Like walking away, no, there's a delay on it. I think he'll stay there while he's defending himself. He's been there for a while, and while he's fighting this case in court, so he may not be there to vote all the time because he may be defending himself. But I think until something is done, like if the court puts him away, then he'll go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you get, Johnny?
No, he's staying there. The Four of Pentacles is someone who is resistant to change. The Six of Swords is a trouble transition. And then there's the Hangman. Now, mind you, homeboy's still a thief, 7 swords. So legal trouble ain't over, but people don't leave their jobs just because you don't like them.
And
there'd be like 9 people in Congress right now.
And do you all remember those 2 senators that lost their seats in Georgia?
Lawfully and all them people.
Lawful and whatever. They were openly insider trading during COVID. And I'm not saying, well, if they did it, we should do it too. No, if you're going to measure it by that stick, then it applies here too.
I just have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I got this gold bar I'd like to deposit in my bank account. How the hell do you do that?
You got to know somebody that knows.
Look, I've got another one and another one. I've got these gold bars I need to put in my bank account.
You got to know somebody that knows a friend. That's how.
Well, in the bank, like, do they flag that to our government? Like, hey, there may be something funny going on.
I mean, when you go to the convenience store and you try to pay with 100, people get an attitude. How do you pay with a gold bar?
Hold on. We have a bunch of banks in Delaware too and stuff that are prime for money laundering, and they're outside our regular. I forget what it's called, but I know that Delaware is huge.
Yeah, because they have a lot of LLCs based out of Delaware too.
But they have a bunch of banks in Delaware that have been busted for because they hide money from money launderers and stuff, kind of like they do over in that one country that's is it Sweden? That's kind of neutral.
Switzerland.
Switzerland, that's neutral. They do that in, I think Delaware is a huge one. So maybe he took it to a bank in Delaware, like, here, hide this for me. And they're
Here's
like,
another one. Here's another one. Wait, I got a whole suitcase of these.
Bars of gold.
yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, like,
No.
I mean, if you got one to give away, I'll gladly take it. You know, I would love to pay off my house. You know, like, come on now. I just, goddamn. So, okay, and his wife too. His wife got busted. Now, why would his wife get busted though?
She's the one who took him, wasn't she?
I'll take that pair of earrings and that pair of earrings and that gold bar and that.
But like, why would his wife be getting busted for bribery unless she's in government of some sort? Like, that's what I don't understand. But I'm not familiar with the story.
Selling access.
It's like that guy in Virginia. He was the governor. I think he was a Democrat too. He got a bunch of like golf trips and expensive watches, and he got to use expensive cars and got all this favor. And then once he got busted, he said, "Oh, well, all of that stuff was actually for my wife, and she did benefit a lot." But no,
she was the go-between.
Got busted too, and so both of them got in trouble for it. I forget what his name was, but Rachel Maddow did like a whole 3 months on that.
It's kind of like Ginni and Clarence Thomas. You know, she's selling access to him and selling his vote, basically. And
again,
goes out and meets with a lot of these.
Here we go again. If you're going to measure it with this stick, measure it over there with the same one. Don't be using a proper measuring stick over here on Menendez and then busting out a dollar store 50% off 1-inch freaking measuring stick for Clarence Thomas and Ginni. The same should apply to both, because she's doing the same fucking thing. It may not be gold bars, but it's properties, it's education, it's trips. So yeah, you know. So anyways, moving off of that. Let's see here. Oh, here's discuss. I'm going to warn the people in the chat. This is going to get gross. Hands down his pants, Rudy Giuliani.
Right there, it's gross.
You have been warned, people. This guy on the bed, that guy, Cassidy Hutchinson is saying that he sexually harassed her.
I believe it.
Tried to grope her, didn't he?
Groped her.
He did grope her. Yes, I think. That's
you got Bobert groping. You got Giuliani groping.
If he groped, then that's sexual assault.
And they've been giving Cassidy Hutchinson a bunch of shit, like, oh, she's, and then his Rudy Giuliani's one of his attorneys, because we know the other one's suing him because he hasn't paid him, but one of his attorneys is attacking Cassidy Hutchinson, that this is all just a stunt for her new book and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like,
wait, is it one of the attorneys that's suing him because he hadn't paid his legal fees?
Yeah, 1.3 million or something like that, because he hasn't paid him his legal fees. But so now he's got another attorney going after Cassidy Hutchinson, saying that she's a liar and she's only doing this for book sales and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, you wonder why women that have been sexually assaulted or sexually harassed
don't come
forward against men that are powerful, that have influence, that have
money. We had a
money.
rapist as president. Who's she going to go forward to?
Yeah. And then you had a fucking piece of shit, Bill Barr, covering every goddamn crime up left, right, and center. Who's she going to go to? Who is she going to go to? You know?
Now, see, here's to be fair. Some men and women do lie about these situations. However, I believe her. And furthermore, if this is a stunt just for her book, then how does that make it untrue, though?
Everything else she's told so far has been true and has been validated by other people. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you, Anita. And here's the thing. We have Rudy Giuliani on tape from when Borat filmed that movie. It's not a stretch to think that he...
It's only a backstretch. Just a backstretch.
So, can we look into that? Because she could civilly sue him, just like is it Eugene Carroll? Eugene Carroll did to Spanky.
She won both of her cases, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. So will Cassidy Hutchinson?
I just heard he's going to have nothing left to go after.
Well, you're Viagra, buddy, because you ain't getting laid no time soon.
Take his hair dye. Take his hair dye and sell it on Temu.
Get a 90% discount.
99 cents. You can look like Rudy too.
Wait, what's the currency in Russia, Johnny?
Like
Wheelbarrows.
0.000001.
Bring your wheelbarrow pennies to teawithkarin.com.
I got more money than anybody in Russia right now. That's bad.
And I feel bad for the citizens in Russia because they're paying for the
Shop locally. That's all you can do. Don't buy nothing anywhere else. That's all you can do. Your money is worth something in Russia, just not outside of it.
Supposed to concentrate on the question while I'm shuffling. Y'all distract
I'm
me.
pulling cards and I have no idea what I'm pulling.
I asked if Cassidy Hutchinson will sue Rudy Giuliani, and not just that, dude. They fucked her life up. She had to leave DC and go into hiding because of the people that were harassing her and threatening her for, talking to the January 6th committee. I get a yes. I get that she's going to be very successful financially, and there's some gain here to make. So I get a yes that if she decides to go forward with it, she'll be very successful, an abundance of success and in regards to finances.
Oof. Oof. Yeah. Ace of Wands, new action. This may take some work, but that's what you hire lawyers for. Don't get one off of Temu though. But it'll take some work, but there's an abundance of something here for you to gain. And yeah, it's kind of, if you want to go through the headache of doing it, do it. But just keep that in mind too. But it's there for you if you want to do it. Go for it.
I think she's got support, like maybe other aides around that saw this. So I think she's got witnesses that will back her story up.
Bernice is saying that Cassidy Hutchinson said that Mark Meadows witnessed her being assaulted by Rudy, and he did nothing about it.
I can believe that too.
I can believe that too. So yeah, she's got witnesses, to Jenny's point.
Yeah, she's kind of hiding out right now with all the other legal stuff going on around Trump and everything. So, and she's looking at her options with it. But I think judgment she's trying to figure out how to structure it. I guess she would secure a lot of money if she took him. I think it'll be a little while, but I get a yes. She will move in on him.
I have a question, and I don't even know how to properly.
Legally, I should say.
I don't know how to properly word it because it's such a big scope. A lot of these people that worked for Trump in his administration, I'm talking like the aides, not the assholes that were there, like the Steve Millers and everybody that was there for their own gain and their own ideologies. I'm talking
invisible people.
The invisible people, the Cassidy Hutchinsons and all these people. They witnessed the nightmare, the shit show, Cassidy Hutchinson being groped and sexually assaulted. All
the burning of documents, the
burning of documents, the eating of documents, the thievery of documents. Like they
Russians coming in on the first day of the presidency and all of that.
They witnessed all of it that us, the public, is not privy to, that we still haven't heard about. Okay, they saw it all of it.
They saw the Secret Service if they were colluding with Trump on something.
They saw everybody involved in trying to steal the election. They saw everybody involved when he was trying to extort Ukraine. They saw everybody that was involved when Donald Trump was stealing money from taxpayers to build the wall that he only built.
They saw every hand slap Trump gave Melania.
So all these, like Johnny said, the invisible people, they saw everything. Everything. Are they all still Republicans? That's what I want to know, because I can see the assholes like the Steve Millers and everything that are doing it for their own ideology and twisted
Their own benefit.
gain and everything. But the like Johnny said, the invisible people, or they discuss it enough, and then they're seeing the shit show that is, while they've witnessed it, and then they're seeing the Republicans trying to cover up for that. Are those people still Republicans?
Yes-ish. The King of Cups and the Six of Swords, there is some transition to, they're going to support Biden because this is more than likely, not exactly, because the future is not written yet for some people. They're going to support Biden because it's more than likely going to be Trump versus Biden, unless something happens and then it's DeSatan. But they are going to go towards Biden because that's the more clearer choice. So they will have some sort of realization about that. However, listen, even the Cassidy Hutchinson and the people who were victimized, Donald Trump was Donald Trump before you took that job. You knew who he was.
Johnny has a point and he froze.
They're always there no matter who comes in the door. I'm talking about the people who went on to his administration because it was bright and shiny. And then you got a whole bag full of shite, and then you didn't know what to do with it, and then your whole life turned upside down, and now you're trying to piece it back together. So take this as a lesson that next time you're faced with this situation, look for the out. As I always say, God always gives you one. Look for the out instead of the bright and shiny.
Yep. Go on every news station you can and let the American people know. Not like Bill Barr, who kept his fucking mouth shut when he knew everything was going to happen with January 6th, kept his mouth shut, wrote a book, and then now he's on a media campaign trying to rehabilitate his image. I see you. I know what you did, what you covered up for him, what you knew, and you kept it quiet to write a book. So don't be those people. Like that. They're bad.
Yeah, and I get they saw a lot of overseas stuff going on, like, with Russia and other countries, and they saw that quid pro quo and stuff that was going on and stuff. So a lot of them, like, they hold it very close to their chest, but there is a separation from the Republican Party. They watch the messaging, and this is a card for me of going across the aisle. So a lot of them are no longer Republicans. They see where the money came from and the manipulations, strength on Russia here, big time. The bullies, nope. A lot of them are separating out.
I get that a lot of them are committed to the new guy, the new person. So Biden, because that person is trustworthy, committed to the trustworthy person who's innocent, who hasn't done anything wrong. So I get that they're committed to Biden. Maybe because Biden is a little bit more of a moderate. He's not like a Bernie Sanders or anything like that.
He doesn't lie every other breath.
How many? It was reported though. How many times Trump lied while he was in office? It was like over 70-something thousand.
It was thousands.
I mean, even after office, they can't keep up with his lies and stuff. It's like, ching, 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 ching. As soon as he exhales, he's lying.
I mean, he breathes, he's lying. He can't function without it. It's just like, oh my God. So, okay. Bless his heart. No, honey. No. I'm all about cursing, jinxing, and hexing that son of a bitch. Okay.
Is there anything Trump has told the truth about?
Okay, let's do that one.
His weight.
He lied about that? Come on.
Johnny, if he weighs 215 pounds, you're going to be the next Victoria's Secrets model. Okay?
Get my own push-up, bro.
What treats you got in your bra tonight, Johnny? What treats do you
Candy corn.
Oh, you got a Donald Trump candy?
I got candy corn. People don't like candy corn, so I won't share. But
Like where is it they weigh in stones? Like a stone is equivalent to 20 pounds, so he's 215 stones probably.
Oh my God.
boulders maybe, but stones.
Anything he's told the truth about.
What has Trump told the truth about?
That he was married. Lovers in the Knight of Cups, that he was married. That's not marriage, because marriage would be more like a 3 of Cups or 4 of Wands or something like that. But this is for there's a woman that he was with. That he was married to. I'll leave it at that. He had a whole bunch of conquest stories that he would tell about this in particular person, but I mean, it's hardly bragging when the person is actually married to you. So there's that. Ivana is who it was, though.
Now he wanted to feel up his own daughter. That's just fucking gross, man. Like, I get it that was a thing during the Dark Ages and incest was not frowned upon, but dude,
that's just him. Period. He could have been born in 2002. That still would have been him.
It's something. It's something about his daughter. Seeking her out. It's something about her.
He said, "If she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her." So maybe
that father-child bond thing. It's beyond that, because she's not a child; she's an adult.
And it's not even there's an abundance of pictures with Trump and Ivanka when she was younger that is extremely inappropriate for a father to be touching his daughter. I'm not saying that he had his hands down her pants, but it was a bit too intimate for most people. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you walked into the changing rooms at the Teen USA pageant, don't you know he walked in Ivanka's bedroom when she was a teenager?
What did he tell the truth about? The only thing he's ever told the truth about is that he's always relaxing when he's supposed to be working. So golfing.
He's lazy. He is so lazy, it's not funny.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So that is so fucking gross. So Elon Musk, that piece of shit, is now threatening to start charging all users on Twitter every month, whatever. You know what? Go ahead, you're going to lose even more business, but
I mean, that's his goal at this point.
I'll be right back on this one.
So you mean to tell me that you and your Saudi buddies took, how much did he pay for Twitter? 4 billion? Was it billion with a B? 4 billion to take a company and just set it on fire? I mean, I guess the Saudis could, because they just wipe their asses with money, so he's threatening, which I don't believe anything Elon Musk says. He threatened $44 billion. That's right.
Billions of dollars.
$44 billion to take a company and destroy it. On
the first day.
On the first day. And then because of that, his other company is suffering too. The Tesla company is suffering too, because they think Elon Musk is a fucking piece of shit, so nobody wants to buy their stuff anymore. Oh, and by the way, your cars catch on fire. So but Elon Musk has a bunch of government contracts. Will he lose government contracts? Because you know what? That's my taxpayer money paying a Nazi piece of shit. I'm not down for that. I get that
he wants to charge for Twitter because it'll cut down on the bots.
He's the king of the bots, dude. He's the king of the bots. He's the one that's personally having his engineers suppress Democratic or left-leaning voices while elevating extreme right-wing voices and violence on his platform. So well,
There was a trending topic. You had to look it up, but it had more retweets. This was during that whole stupid thing with the guy who said he slept with Obama and they did drugs together and all that. All that was all over the Twitter. Meanwhile, there was something about Kamala Harris made some speech somewhere, and then that was trending more than that thing. But that didn't pop up in my feed.
No,
because I happen to follow Kamala Harris is the only reason why I've seen that.
He's throttling. He's having the people at his company throttle what's being put out. So he's silencing certain conversations while elevating others. So that motherfucker, dude, I say this is just me because I hate him and I think he's a horrible, horrible human being. Take away his fucking citizenship and ship his ass back to fucking South Africa. And you love Russia so much? Go live over there. Go live there.
And take Zuckerberg with you too, and y'all can have fights.
Oh, not just Zuckerberg. Sean Hannity, not Sean Hannity. Tucker Carlson with you because he loves it over there too. So will Elon Musk lose government contracts? I just can't with that guy. He is just such a disgusting piece of shit. Ooh.
I mean, they should have things in government contracts that say, and by the way, you can't side with the enemy.
There usually is. DAWIA. For those of you that don't know, DAWIA, I think it's DAWIA. They should have a course online or whatever, but that's how government contracts are supposed to be written. And the laws that you have to follow when you're writing government contracts and when you agree to a government contract. So what'd you get, Johnny?
Right now, no, but there's someone here during the next administration that it's almost Elizabeth Warren type to where they are going to go after him. It seems specifically, but it's kind of not. It's just, the people who have that influence in the whole atmosphere of social media and all that. They're going after influencers the most because they control the narrative of the public. And so that's why, like here in Oregon, they just passed the law that you can't have TikTok on your phone if you're a government employee. So
we have that here too.
We just passed that this week or something like that.
Well, it's not a law for us, but there was a message that came out from the admiral. We can have it on our personal phones, just not. I'm like, why would you put TikTok on your work phone? But okay, but we're not allowed. We're not allowed to have TikTok on personal phone or on work phones.
I get he's going to hang on to him for right now, but there's somebody that's going to investigate or investigations into and asking him questions about his quid pro quo, like, where are you making your money from and stuff. But I get eventually they'll shift and move, move away from him. I get a big old yes. They are going to look at him as like a spy. There will be evidence of him as like a spy.
I get the fox, the scythe, the birds. A couple of ways to interpret this. He cut something off from working in communications. This could be considered work employment. So something that was working gets broken, cut off here. And then it has to do with communications, all forms of verbal communications, also telephones. Okay. Another way to interpret this is that he's being very sneaky, manipulating things to cut off speech, to cut it off from working. So will he lose government contracts? This is showing that there's probably going to be hearings about it. People are going to want to know. They're going to want to hear him speak about work that he's doing, that he's cutting off communication or manipulating communication by cutting it off.
And isn't he refusing to testify right now, like they asked him to, but he's refusing?
Yeah. And he's refusing, but this ultimately says somebody's going to talk. And it has to do around work that was done to cut off communication or manipulating stuff to cut off communication. Okay, so I don't know if this is the Starlink situation with Ukraine, if this is the birds, this is verbal communication, talking, negotiating, also because it's the birds, Twitter, manipulating and cutting off dangerous targeted speech on Twitter. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but it says that he will talk. So there might be an interview eventually where he's going to have
to subpoena him to come in.
So he's such a piece of shit, that guy. I swear.
I was loving Eric Swalwell confronting Jim Jordan about somebody that wasn't honoring a subpoena, and Eric
he has got to keep running for president. He just has to.
He had a counter in front of him, like 565 days or whatever, since Jim Jordan has refused to his subpoena to testify to the January 6th committee. He had a countdown calendar, like he's keeping track of how many days that Jim Jordan ignored a subpoena.
So what? Okay, can you back it up? Because there
was somebody Jim Jordan had subpoenaed. Oh, I think it was Fonnie Willis. Like he was trying to get her.
Subpoenaed Fonnie Willis. Fonnie Willis wrote him that nice letter that said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, that's why she did it.
He was talking about subpoenaing somebody, and Eric Swalwell was like, "You hypocrite!" You know, it held up his little sign that had the little countdown days, like 500 and something days since you ignored your.
So what did
subpoena?
What did Jim Jordan say to that? And then shut up. Because I mean, you can't. You
don't want to get in no fight with Eric Swalwell.
He nailed him. It was awesome to watch.
What a fucking clown. He's such a goddamn carnival barker.
I don't even care who Jim Jordan was trying to subpoena. I just love it.
He just
nailing him.
He gets dunked on every time he opens his mouth. And I loved it in Fannie Willis's letter that was like, oh, and you can read about it in this book, but since you're not a member of the bar, it's going to cost you $240. She was throwing shade in that letter. Oh.
Yeah, he left the room. He's
such a
when people tried to talk to him later, he was just like,
So Lauren Bobert is now on the Hoopty Hobart. That's Bimbo Bobert, Hoopty Hobart. Okay.
Hobart.
Hoopty Hobart is blaming the whole groping situation on a Democrat date. So it was his fault because don't date Democrats. It's like, bitch, you a who? You a hoe.
So did he assault you, is what you're saying?
You held his hand to your boob. You're going to say he assaulted you?
He was groping his, his thing.
Because if you said,
I mean, listen, we all know that she was an escort. I'm not throwing shade out there.
Now she didn't give him permission to do it, or no, she what it sounds like she's saying is this wouldn't have happened if he wasn't a Democrat.
Exactly.
I was led astray by a Democrat.
Yep. Hey, you know what? That's almost like the devil made me do it. It's like, no, you're just a shit human being.
Yeah, what kind of Democrat are you that you would want to take Bobert out on a date? What the hell's wrong with
his name was Billy Ray. He was a preacher's son, and when his daddy would visit, they'd come along. When they gathered around and started talking, that's when Billy would take me walking.
What's the guy's name? Frisch or something that's running against Bobert, the Democrat there. He is already using that video to target her.
Good.
I'm loving it.
Now Bobert is saying that she's tired of being in Congress, that she should be home with her kids and her new baby.
I agree, absolutely.
Yes, please get the fuck out. Get your trash and get the fuck out. Take Marjorie and plastic face Laura Loomer with you when you leave. But so that's now her excuse for the groping situation.
It was him.
And this is another thing. Oh, the vaping situation. Okay, it was bad. She was vaping in front of a pregnant woman, which is hazardous to the pregnant woman's health, yada, yada. but let's just call it what it is. The fucking groping incident. You have a grown-ass woman wearing a titty dress. Okay, her boobs were up to here in that dress. You know, she looked like she was 2 seconds away from walking the street corner. Groping. And mind you, this is a woman that is also up in arms to ban books for sexual content because sexual explicit content, but you're in a movie theater getting felt up.
You are a member of Congress at a public event and you think it's okay to grope. It's, you know, the people behind them, the people beside them, you know, with the stage lights and everything, they had to see what was going on, even if they didn't get their phones out and film it. The video is very explicit. It's like, what made you think as a member of Congress that's what you do in public, that you go and grope?
Because out of all of that, you know you don't vape in this place. You know you don't.
Yeah.
Because there is no ignorance, first of all, ignorance of law is not excuse, but you know you don't do that.
You think you're above the law.
And then you're in here groping each other. And then when they kick you out, you give them a middle finger like you're in high school. You are trash. Period.
Trash.
That's what you act like, because that's what you are.
Can't take the
hoochie.
Like
a duck, then it's a trashy piece of duck.
You can take the hoochie out the trailer park, but you can't take the hoochie out the girl. Okay. Like, and here's the thing: you want to go be a hoochie, by all means, be a hoochie, but don't you dare judge others and punch down on others that are doing the same damn thing, and then sit there and, oh, but the Bible and Jesus, I'm such a good Christian. I mean, come on.
Jesus didn't vape in Beetlejuice.
So my question is, where did she come? Whose idea? Because that's the biggest pile of dog shit I've ever heard. Whose idea was it to say, oh, blame the incident on your date being a Democrat? I mean,
probably one of her former people that, like Newt Gingrich or Ted Cruz, that she met on the dating app, the escort app, that got her into politics to begin with. Hoochie mama. Who would take her on a date anyway? I'd be afraid of catching all kinds of stuff from her.
You think? Like the gift that keeps on giving?
Yeah, her and MTG both. I'd be afraid of that itchy kitty.
Speaking of which, I get that it was a man that has a very serious illness. This would be a bad, as a thing, this would be bad. A very ill man. The clap.
What's the card for penicillin? Do you have?
Where's the herpes from her and said, just kidding, the guy was a Democrat.
Oh, Lord.
2 for 1. 2 for 1 with a coupon. Oh, my God.
Burning sticks.
Oh, a man with a serious illness told her to, hey.
I get it. Somebody she works with, separate yourself from this and lie and do whatever. Like, oh, look, look at it from a different perspective. Like I had choices about who I should have dated and I didn't do it. Whoever it is, there's going to be some illumination on it, because I get it. It's like either a donor or a source of money for her.
She's losing donors left and right.
So I don't want to call her other sources of money donors.
Paying clients.
I'm donating to your escort service.
Oddly enough, I just bought a red light too.
Red light district, like they do in Germany over there.
In my defense, it's a Pennywise balloon. It's red though. A young man who is also a con artist, or not con artist, kind of harsh.
con artist. I'll say
he's like she is. They find creative ways not to pay taxes or to buy things, or like her son-in-law or something like that. I don't know, but he's in her orbit.
Matt Gaetz.
Are her parents still alive? I wonder if they're proud of her.
She ain't.
Look at that. Our daughter had her firstborn child in the front seat of our car at 17 years old and took her GED 5 times before she graduated, and she still made it into Congress.
Did they say why she gave birth in the front seat, or because she not make it to the hospital?
I don't know, but she brags about it. She brags
probably too loose, couldn't hang on to the baby.
Oh my God.
Just popped out like a tarot card.
So to get petty, to stay on the petty train, Chuck Schumer passed a thing in the House for people to wear whatever they want to wear to accommodate the guy from Fetterman. So Fetterman's been showing up, in his hoodie and his shorts and stuff. It's like, that's cool,
That's what he wore when he was lieutenant governor too, mind you.
Mm-hmm. So he's over there wearing his sweatshirts and shorts and stuff. And, do I think it looks professional? No, I personally wouldn't go into my workplace like that, looking like that, but whatever. Well, what's her face? Clutch my pearls. Well, I'm sure he's learned his lesson. What's her name?
MTG.
No. The lady in the Senate. I'm sure Donald
Collins.
Huh?
Collins.
Well, now Susan Collins is threatening to wear a bikini to work.
We are business casual now. It's like, come on, lose
we don't. Okay, this is sweatshirt and shorts is beyond business casual. Walking in there in your old haggard ass lady wearing a bikini, nobody wants to see that. But I mean, we all know she's full of shit. She's not going to walk into I would pay good money for it though, because the memes would be never ending.
Really, if you want to literally ruin your entire name for the rest of your life, because mind you, you could look fantastic for your age, but they're still going to make fun of you. So
I doubt it.
I guarantee you she's not brave enough to do that. She wasn't brave enough to vote to impeach Trump, so she is not brave enough to wear a bikini on that House floor or on that Senate floor.
But
I don't even wear shorts outside to take the trash to the curb. We're definitely not going to do it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Fetterman really tall, a big man?
Yeah.
Like it's hard for him to find clothes to fit good and stuff. And
he's so tall that I'm not sure if clothes from the big and tall store would fit him. He's
very tall. Now, mind you, again, he's not a suit guy. When he was the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, that's what he wore. He wore big hoodies and all. That's what and mind you, everybody there seemed to love him because they liked Fetterman. That was their guy. So that's who he is. That's what he wears. But I don't like it personally. Me personally, if you're going to go anywhere professional, look professional.
Mm-hmm.
But
look at our society. Like, you watch award shows, right? Women coming into the Grammys dressed to the nines, and the guys have on hoodies, silk hoodies, no less, nice hoodies. But the guys are just casual. They're very casual. The women will dress to the nines, and the guys are very casual.
Yep.
I think we're just an extremely casual society now, and
but there's a thing, like what Johnie said. Me personally, would I do it? No. But I'm also aware that he has serious health issues. The poor man had a stroke and a bunch of other stuff.
Right.
He's insanely tall, which I understand there's big and tall stores or whatever, but he's fucking insanely tall.
6'8" in the chat.
Yeah, he's almost 7 feet
I thought he
tall.
was like 6'7", 6'8", like a basketball player.
He's almost 7 feet tall. Can you imagine just trying to find a fucking pair of shoes? Never mind your pants. That are not going to be
long enough pants, long enough shirts. That come over your waist and stuff.
I personally wouldn't do it, but they're allowing it by all means. Go ahead. But
because mind you, keep in mind too, he's not Shaq. He doesn't have Shaq money, so he's not one of the politicians that went to to Washington in order to get rich. And so he doesn't necessarily have all the money in the world to go get custom made suits. Again, though, I say at least put on a regular shirt and some slacks.
Yep. You know,
Don't look like you work downstairs and nobody, like you work on a loading dock or something.
I mean, every day I'm working, sometimes I have on pajama bottoms. You can't see from here down, you know.
Carol Newland is saying that she heard that Fetterman is wearing this on the floor until Tuberville ends his blockade of appointing
the military appointment.
So it's almost like a protest.
He wears it anyway. But okay.
Yeah.
I don't think what you're wearing is a reflection of the job you do, as long as everything's covered. I don't want to see things that I am not meant to see at work. But as long as everything is tastefully covered, I don't care what people wear, even in a corporate environment and stuff.
So my question is, for shits and giggles, will Susan Collins wear a bikini to work?
Where's my deck of characters? I don't have it.
I was just thinking I need to pull out deck of characters.
There's a vomit card in there. I think.
I'm over here going, I triple dog dare you, Susan Collins.
I'll do this right here if you do it. I really would. You can go to Russia and buy half of it with this here.
Only if they turn the lights out. and she has a nice drink before she walks on the floor.
Oh Lord!
Shine a flashlight. Get the night vision out on your cameras.
Literally over her dead body.
What is that? What is that?
I said literally over her dead body. I think you would literally have to kill her and then do it and then drag her.
Either
that, or if she did it, she would immediately die from embarrassment.
I gotta know. She's just doing it to be an obstructionist and just sort of argue a point. It just stirs shit up. Damn, dude. I was looking forward to the memes.
We can still create the memes. We don't have to have her actually
a bikini. Maybe a one piece, but a bikini is that's the girl bad.
So
she would do it in the dark, like in a tunnel. She'd probably have Bobert there vaping, smoking.
No. Bobert's over there giving her tips on how to make her boobs look bigger.
No, she's vaping, smoke in the room. She's vaping to try to cloud the room over. And then the vomit card and, get the treadmill out. You need to go work out some more.
Or the treadmill is everybody running out of the chamber when the lights go back.
That's bad. Tell all the old people, everybody in AOC, you're going to get old too.
I think I'm at least probably 25, 30 pounds lighter than Susan Collins, and I wouldn't wear a bikini.
My grandma wears a one piece. Every time grandma. I love grandma. She's always out there in her little one piece hanging out. Grandma's 90 years old. 90 years old. She'll be 91 next year. So anyways, last question before we get into the petty one. Carnival Barker, Yap and Chihuahua. Jim Jordan is threatening to shut down the government if they do not stop Jack Smith, if they don't shut down the special counsel. That's on Twitter from 2 hours ago. It says, breaking: Trump Congressman Jim Jordan launches sinister plan to keep Trump out of prison, threatens to shut down the entire federal government unless the special counsel Jack Smith's criminal cases against Trump are immediately defunded. In his unhinged rant, Jordan threatened that Republicans should only pass a bill to keep the government open if they can defund all attacks on your political opponent. Oh, are we including Hunter Biden in that too? Are we? And the impeachment inquiry? I'm sorry. Are we going to defund that too? me see, on your political opponent, which is exactly what Joe Biden is doing when he's funding this Jack Smith operation, going after his political opponent.
Mind you, keep in mind, Donald Trump is not the nominee, so that is not his political opponent. If he was going to go after all of you, then he'd go after DeSatan too, who's committed 99 crimes too. So,
hey man, I got that wine bottle. 99 crimes. Oh, it's actually 19 crimes, not 99. It's a few numbers too short. You just got to invert them, 19 instead of 91. So will Jim Jordan shut down the government to keep Trump out of prison?
He's just like a tornado, clawing at anything, grasping at straws, breathing hot air like a dragon. It all goes to dust. And I'm getting like something with literally Meadows. I'm hearing Meadows, like Mark Meadows, like something with Mark Meadows takes flight soon. So we're going to hear about something else with Mark Meadows. So he's probably trying to cover up something that he knows is getting ready to break with Mark Meadows.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like, oh yeah, I spoke with Jim Jordan. Here's my testimony against Jim Jordan. When he was asking for pardons without asking for a pardon.
No, 10 of Swords, no. There's a woman who is going to try to help him as well.
Susan Collins in a bikini.
I mean, these people are nude, so ain't no telling. But there's also another woman who is going to put you on blast yet again. So keep watch for that.
I get no. That's going to be a very painful thing that he's just going to have to suffer through. It's only going to get shut down. That offer gets shut down. Like it's not even a thing. So, petty question.
I'm shocked that Trump didn't announce Hobart to be his running mate after watching the groping pictures. I'm sure he got off on that.
Well, he hasn't even.
Not to mention the chest up to her neck.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Thank you, Catherine. Yes, I'm sorry to call your government name out, but Bobert's parents are alive, and her mother is a racist, apparently.
Oh, that's the apple didn't fall far from the tree, did it?
I'm surprised they don't call Democrats a minority or something, If they don't look at us as like
and what's really sad about the whole thing? It's that while the rest of us see her as an ignorant twit, she flies that flag with pride. Like, I'm a fucking idiot. Yay. Like, it's like, that's not something to be proud of, sweetie. I don't think that means what you think it means, but whatever. So petty question for the evening. Stinky's over there losing his mind. The judges are like smacking him down every few minutes because he keeps making all these stupid motions to try to get his cases shut down, or he's trying to sue a judge in Florida. The guy's going, I mean, he's desperately
trying to get Chutkan to recuse herself.
Yeah, he's suing the judge in Florida for a ruling that he made on one of the, I've lost track of all the cases, but on one of the cases where Trump lost, and so he's suing that judge to get him thrown off or whatever, even though the case is already closed. So he's losing a bunch of court cases and everything. Fannie Willis, the stuff with Fannie Willis in Georgia is moving along. I think they're set for the first hearing next month, which is a couple of weeks.
First trial with Sidney Powell and Cheeseboro.
So that's right around the corner. He's in the crosshairs and not doing really well. Jack Smith just sent that notion to Judge Chutkan to gag Donald Trump. I don't know if that ruling's been made yet, but we all know we all know within 2 minutes of the judge issuing that ruling is going to start running his mouth anyways.
Once he runs his mouth, all she has to do is speed up the trial. It's like, okay, let's go in October or December or something.
Be ready next week. Be ready next week.
Yep.
You want to talk? Come talk in here.
Yep.
You know, so I want to know how many diapers has Donald Trump shat himself in this week from all the bad news, all the legal bad news he's got.
Protecting my cards. No, ma'am.
I'm going there. How many diapers has Donald Trump shat himself in this week? What did he shit himself in this week? Let's see.
I'm using the deck of characters, which doesn't have numbers on it, so
I get 32. 32 dirty diapers. You know, the ones that you buy at the store that has the little moon on it. 32 of those. I can't.
Let's just say on the bottom, you need a bulldozer. Because
that's a lot of fertilizer.
He's sprouting, because of like looking at jail. He's looking at jail for himself. Like he's scared to death. A measurable and significant amount of poop. Measurable and significant. Like get the bulldozers out to get rid of the diapers.
It's like the South Park show with Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, he loves me. And it's a little poop floating around with a Christmas hat, Santa Claus hat. That's so wrong. You going, Johnny, or you sitting this way?
No, ma'am. Thank you. I'll pass.
We should have got stock and Depends in adult diapers for him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Peggy. Mom, on October 3rd, Michael Cohen is having Trump sit down for the deposition when Trump was trying to sue Michael Cohen.
Yeah, wasn't it like 12 hours the judge said he had to sit for? So it might, if Trump can't sit 12 hours in one day, it'll probably be a few hours every day.
Any good lawyer, the last thing they want is that person, their client, Donald Trump, on the stand. Ooh, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I mean, all the shits hit him at once, okay?
A dictionary and a blender.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I think that's too many words. You take 2 or 3 and put it in the blender.
Mm-hmm. 9 hours of deposition, they're saying in the chat that he's going to be deposed.
Oh my God.
He's going to fuck up so bad. Like, he's going to tell so many lies and screw himself up so bad. So bad.
I wonder how much he's going to blame on Eric then.
He's going to blame it on the judge, going to blame it on his lawyers, going to blame it on Michael Cohen. He's going to blame it on everybody except himself because, man, woman, camera, TV. He's a genius.
You know what's interesting? Michael Cohen still owns an apartment in Trump Towers in New York.
But I thought Trump Towers wasn't. I thought it was just a building that he leases his name to, like he doesn't own it.
It's hard to sell. Keith Olbermann did a whole thing about how very, very, very difficult it was to sell. He took a huge loss in order to get out of the building. He doesn't own it, but his name is plastered on the front of it. And who wants to live there now that he became the
part of it runs as a hotel. I thought Trump Tower in New York he still owned. I thought Trump Org took over the majority of it. Because I remember reading Trump Org like is responsible for the public restrooms. I found that funny. Y'all are in charge of the poop.
Trump Org is about to take have a huge problem because of the Letitia James situation going on still, so he's my only wish is that the bastard stays alive long enough to pay for every single thing, everything, even if it's 1 year in prison. Just give me that, So, but anyways, that's all we got. Next week we will be on Mr. Johnny's channel.
Oh, we'll see about that.
Mr. Johnie down here.
Might need to list earlier for questions so you have time to get them together before you go to work on Sunday. You won't have much time with it before we go live.
So thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. Thank you for the super chats and everything. And I shall see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.